My immediate thought when this episode was announced was... But as time went on and I learned a little bit more about this matchup, I became more interested in it. Hulk and Godzilla get pretty crazy when you composite them both, but how did Death Battle do with their episode?
No! I'm with the science team!
Hulk's analysis is... actually really good. It starts with a quote on what the Hulk is, which is a theme all throughout this analysis. The Hulk and Bruce are one and the same, both being alternate personalities within Bruce Banner. There are 7 personalities inside of Bruce, including Joe Fixit, Devil Hulk, and the Green Scar. The last of which is a pretty good conqueror and communicator, as opposed to how people normally see the Hulk as just this anger beast who just smash and destroys things. But the Hulk has been on the show multiple times before. We know that he could break the chains that held together eternity, that he can compare to someone like Thor who can throw Mjolnir infinite distances, can tear the universe apart by clapping his hands together, and what gamma energy in the Marvel universe actually is. We already get it, the Hulk is extremely powerful and can revive himself with the Green Door. So how is Godzilla supposed to win this? What's different about this analysis though is the focus on Bruce Banner. We already knew Bruce's origins and the abuse he was shown from his father, but they really expounded on Bruce's relationship with the Hulk here, showing Bruce's intelligence more than we've ever seen, like how Bruce built a suit for the Hulk that he piloted inside of his own mindscape, and how Bruce somehow built an ultimate nullifier. I say again, how does Godzilla win here? I like the Hulk's analysis a lot, even if I'm sad the mention of the laser eyes never went anywhere. Moving on to the character I'm more excited for.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Godzilla's analysis started with a similar starting quote as Hulk's, describing what Godzilla actually is. Godzilla itself also has similar origins to Banner, a being born as a statement of what America did in World War II. But instead of having a character based on the destruction America could cause, Japan's version is more a force of nature that happens to them. It's a really interesting dynamic. They explain that there are 27 Godzillas that are mostly similar, which is utter bullshit. They are all named Godzilla, but each one can be super distinct. Some are silly, some are serious, some are protectors, some are killers. It all depends on the interpretation. I get what they mean, Godzilla's origins are very similar, but I feel like the characters are different. With the basic composite Godzilla, we really just get basic information. It can survive most human attacks, fights deadly monsters in his free time, can shoot multiple forms of atomic breath from different parts of his body, has laser eyes that also aren't used in the fight. You know, the basic stuff. Some other interesting things that Godzilla has is his radar to track foes, a barrier that can only be broken by people who can bypass defenses, and can casually break through dimensions. Godzilla has amazing adaptation that could turn into instant evolution. That way, no enemy will ever get a leg up on him in a fight. All this gets fucked by Hulk though. The only thing that Godzilla has that really contends with the Hulk is Ultima. Ultima is an avatar for an enormously strong monster. Ultima alone can cause universal destruction, is immortal, and can manipulate causality, essentially saying Ultima can do whatever he wants with reality. Did you throw that punch? No you didn't. Did you power up by getting more angry? No you didn't. Ultima is the only thing that Godzilla has that can stand a chance in this fight. They did bring up this little thing though, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Archetype. I'm not sure if it'll be important for this fight though. I mean, it only functions very similarly to gamma radiation in the Marvel comics, like it doesn't really matter. Ultima is treated as the end-all be-all of all Godzilla, but I'm pretty sure that's just a headcanon. I know we see certain scenes in the anime that relate to other Godzilla universes, but I'm just not sure if it's proof enough for me to buy the claim that Ultima is tied to all of them in this very specific way that Death Battle claims. But honestly, there's a lot for me still left to learn about Godzilla, so maybe they could have just explained things a little bit better and I would have got it more? I don't know, but there is one thing they did say in the episode that is 100% true. Godzilla stomping around America just doesn't hit the same as his home turf. Sometimes, it's best just to stay home. Overall, a really good analysis with only one strange thing.
Get ready for the fight of your life!
Most of the people who weren't interested in the matchup itself definitely were interested in how they would pull this fight off. And honestly, after a few rewatches, this isn't bad in the slightest. This tries something that Death Battle hasn't done before. It goes all in on the story aspect of the fight, giving us a bit to talk about. Starting with our setup and story. Old Godzilla was stomping around Tokyo City like a big playground, when suddenly out of nowhere, the Hulk comes jumping on top of a bunch of buildings and challenges Godzilla face to face. Godzilla changes throughout this fight, passively letting reporters do their job while later on when Ultima shows up, he goes and kills those same reporters immediately. Showing Godzilla being a more passive threat to a more terrifying threat throughout the fight is really interesting to me. It shows the big difference between Ultima and the classic Godzilla. I will say that that's it for the story. normally. But the second half of this fight happens. Bruce takes center stage and starts analyzing Ultima, learning how to combat him and kill him based on his analysis of archetype. I think the second half of this fight really elevates things, and I hope we see more story-based fights in the future, even if I do find this fight slow and in need of some pacing adjustments here and there. The banter is pretty simple. Godzilla doesn't talk, so it's just Bruce and Hulk talking the whole time. All they really talk about is things important to the fight. Bruce asking to switch with the Hulk after Godzilla's initial death, Bruce bantering about the effective archetype, and that's really it. The banter is not much, but this fight really doesn't need it, so I'm not docking points here. The fight itself is a more positive mixed bag. You would think with a fight like this, it wouldn't be very interesting. The Hulk throws punches and Godzilla shoots atomic breath. And yeah, that's just what happens here. But things are a bit more interesting with how they shot the fight. Just looking at these scenes where Hulk is scaling Godzilla's body or how Hulk dodges Ultima's lasers at the end is really interesting. We do get some other things than that in this fight though. Godzilla's regeneration, Godzilla's multiple uses of its atomic abilities, like using its spines to pick itself up as it's falling or bursting energy around the Hulk body to shoot Hulk upwards. And just look at this scene of Worldbreaker Hulk versus the atomic breath. It's so interesting. But pretty stuff aside though, there really isn't much to talk about here. And that's kind of a shame for me really. I wish there was a bit more, but I did like what I saw, ultimately. The music is alright. It's way more reminiscent of Godzilla than it is for the Hulk. It's a heavy, dramatic, and orchestrated track that references Godzilla's original theme, King Ghidorah's theme from the NES game, Alapu Upala from Godzilla's Singular Point, and Godzilla's theme from Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Hulk only has one reference, the theme of the Incredible Hulk. The song is alright, but it mostly just serves the episode than being something to listen to on my own. Not bad, but not my favorite. The title is mad though. Madness of the Monster? Nothing deep there. What would I add to this fight overall though? I immediately had things I wanted to add, and they are all things Ben have addressed. Well, mostly. The first thing is that I would have started this fight as Bruce and put more emphasis on Godzilla's passive destruction, nearly killing Bruce by accident, which would transition Bruce into turning into the Hulk. I feel like treating Bruce as a normal passerby while fully embracing Godzilla would have made this feel like less of the Hulk show. Number 2, where is Goofy Godzilla? Ben had addressed these, saying they didn't fit the vibe of the fight, but I think having Godzilla have more goofy moments would not only better represent the other sides of Godzilla, but again help give Godzilla more memorable moments to make his presence in the fight more apparent. And lastly, I want the Bowser throw. It's such a simple thing that would have been so fun. I get why it got cut, but I like it and I wish we saw it. Now on to the conclusion. So from the analyses, it's a bit complicated to see how they determined a victor, but the conclusion does go over things pretty well. Starting with the power category. It's interesting. They essentially say Hulk should be way stronger, but Godzilla Ultima's causality manipulation would effectively negate any power advantage the Hulk would have. Essentially, it's stats versus hacks, but Ultima's hacks negate Hulk's stats. Interesting conclusion for the category, but I like it. Immortality is also very straightforward. Hulk has the green door, so Ultima couldn't kill him, and Ultima could always summon a replacement body. So yeah, none take this category either, even though I do have some questions on them saying Ultima just can't reach the below place, but it's such a minor issue in logic. And finally, Gamma vs. Archetype, which is misnamed. It should have just been called Bruce vs. Ultima. This category explains that Bruce is a genius and would most likely come up with a way to deal with Ultima since Gamma is really similar to Archetype. And since Ultima can't kill Hulk, Banner has plenty of time to create a counter device. I'm fine with this logic. I think it slightly turns a draw into slightly leaning one way. And I find it fun and creative, honestly, if I'm being real. This episode is pretty good. Better than I expected. 2 great analyses, a good conclusion, and a good fight. Honestly though, the fight is the lowest point in this video for me, which is pretty surprising. I think this is a perfect A- episode. Something that I wasn't excited for, but I enjoyed quite a bit. Have a good day everyone, and take care.